As we mentioned earlier, House Speaker Paul Ryan sat down with CBS This Morning co-host Norah O'Donnell. She questioned him about the path forward for health care in America.
Speaker Ryan told Norah that he's against President Trump working with the Democrats on the plan.
Do you think it would have helped if the president were more involved in the policy itself?
Oh, he was deeply involved. That's the thing that I was so pleased and impressed with. He really rolled up his sleeves. So actually, he's up to speed on the issue. He knows the circumstances. What I worry about, Norah, is that if we don't do this, then he'll just go work with Democrats to try and change Obamacare. And that's hardly a conservative thing. This is a can-do president who's a business guy who wants to get things done. And I know that he wants to get things done with the Republican Congress. But if this Republican Congress allows the perfect to be the enemy of the good, I worry we'll push the president into working with Democrats. He's been suggesting that as much.
I mean, have you reached out to the Democrats yet to work on this bill, Pelosi?
No, I'm trying to get this bill passed. Nancy and I see things very, very differently. I don't want
then
government
you guys are not on
healthcare.
the same page. The President of the United States saying he's going to work with Democrats on this.
Yeah, I know he's been saying that. I don't want that to happen. You know why? Because I want a patient-centered system. I don't want government running healthcare. The government shouldn't tell you what you must do with your life, with your healthcare. We should give people choices.
And Norah O'Donnell is here with us now. Norah, great interview. We've already started to see the ripple effects of this interview that you've done with Speaker Ryan. Republican Senator Bob Corker just tweeted this. We have come a long way in our country when the speaker of one party urges a president not to work with the other party to solve a problem. Were you surprised by Speaker Ryan's statement to you?
You know, I was surprised. I think him saying that he doesn't want the president to work with Democrats is interesting because it suggests that there is no room for bipartisanship. But I do think it speaks to the purity of Paul Ryan's views, which is that he believes that the current bill as it is a good one, that they want, in his words, a patient-centered new choice for health care that's not mandated by the government. And he thinks, of course, if you bring in Democrats, you're going to return closer to what is Obamacare, which, of course, they have promised to repeal and replace. But there was a lot in this interview. We got just about 20 minutes with the speaker, and I think we were able to cover a lot of ground. But I think it's very rare to control the executive and both houses of Congress. Let's just start there. The Republican Party has an incredible opportunity to enact change, the change that they've wanted to for quite some time, legislatively. That's why this health care failure was a big failure for them, because as I asked Speaker Ryan, I said, you promised to do this, repeal Obamacare for 7 years, and your bill didn't survive 3 weeks. So that's why the markets are a little jittery about it. We'll see what it portends to tax reform and other things.
Not only that, it certainly seemed like the White House and more conservative members of the GOP party really wanted to pin that health care bill on him. And we heard from conservative talk show hosts and pundits calling for his head. It's not the first time that we've seen the more conservative wing of the party take down a speaker. Speaker Boehner, we joked about Speaker Boehner's probably having a cigarette, playing a golf game and wiping his forehead a little bit. Yeah, I'm wondering, he looks very at ease in the portions of the interview that we saw. Did he react to this call for him to step down?
He did. I asked him about his relationship with President Trump. He said that they've been speaking daily. They've actually been speaking quite a bit each day, I am told. I asked him, well, then did the topic come up about that tweet that the president sent last Saturday morning to watch a show on Fox in the evening, in which the anchor on Fox then called for Speaker Ryan to step down or be removed? And he laughed. The speaker laughed and said, yes, actually, the president apologized, said he didn't know that the host on Fox was going to say that, and that he thought that the president thought that the host on Fox was actually going to say something favorable about Russia. And that's why he tweeted out for people to watch. So more details, certainly, in that. I think there's lots of headlines in here, too. There was a whole portion that you'll see online, too, about how they're going to get tax reform done. Remember that Obamacare was going to provide the repeal of Obamacare was going to provide about $1 trillion in revenue. And then they need $1 trillion in revenue from the border adjustment tax. It's not clear how much support Speaker Ryan has for his border adjustment tax. I tax, I asked him specifically, has the president said he will back you on the border adjustment tax? He said, well, we're still talking. So there's lots here. I mean, but this process is going to go on. They call it sausage making for a reason, making legislation, but that's why all these details are important.
Does he feel, I mean, we just have the president, he just tweeted in moments ago about the House Freedom Caucus and basically painting them in the same boat as Democrats. Does he feel like he's sort of struggling, herding the cats?
Yeah, I think so. And actually, I'm glad you brought up the president's tweet this morning, because my sense is that soundbite that's making a lot of news from Paul Ryan, where he says, I don't want the president to work with Democrats, I think it was a warning shot to the Freedom Caucus, and I think you see now the president and the Speaker of the House together applying an enormous amount of pressure to the Freedom Caucus. I think the next step is, what does the president do? Does he try and primary one of these members of the, get someone more moderate to run against them? Does he go to one of their districts, give a speech? That kind of pressure. I think that's sort of the next step. I think they really want to get their own party in line. As Speaker Ryan said, we've got to become a governing party rather than an opposition party.
You got to wonder if using a stick or a carrot may be better. The stick approach, I don't know if it's working.
Yeah.
That's it. That's a really good point. And I think they want to use the stick right now.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think they tried the carrot approach. I mean, remember, they said to the Freedom Caucus, we'll get rid of these essential health benefits, maternity care, mammograms, mental health, among other things, in order to appease the Freedom Caucus. They ended up losing some moderate Republicans as a result. So they may try and wield the political stick.
Yeah, and I think what you said, Norah, is interesting. A lot of people have been suggesting that as well. They've been an opposition party for 8 years. Now they've got to get to the business of legislating. That is proving to be a little bit harder.
He kept saying, don't let perfect be the enemy of good.
We've heard that a few times.
Yeah, and it's so funny because one of our producers here, Adam Verdugo, emailed me and said that's an old Obama line, and it's actually also an old Kennedy line of legislating. So it's had some history, certainly, in Congress. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. In other words, legislation isn't perfect. Let's get something done.
Just get something done.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Now,
Norah.
people who oppose this Obamacare repeal would say it's far from perfect. It's damaging to a lot of people. So there's a lot of sides to this.
Yeah, Norah O'Donnell, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
Norah.
Nice to see you.